You know, I'm so sick of this racist stuff and all the phony crap. Let's have a little history lesson here. How about that? Now, look at this right here. 1651. Anthony Johnson, I would prefer to say a black man, was given 250 acres and he purchased five. What? What does that say? I don't say black, it says white. His eldest son purchased, see this? It doesn't say black, it says white. Anthony Johnson was the first American to be granted slave ownership. And who did he have as slaves?
Washington 12.
White people, not black. Oh, he did have some black, but basically he's white. There's been so many, y'all taking down the wrong statues. You don't understand this. Robert E. Lee, look at this. Robert E. Lee, he succeeded from the North to fight for the South because of what he believed in. He didn't want to pay the money. It wasn't about freeing no slaves whatsoever, which I'm going to show you. Lincoln's own words. He was in the military. He fought for the Mexican-American War. He was a military engineer in the United States Army for 32 years, and he served as superintendent of the United States Military Academy. You're disgracing this veteran by taking down his statue. He chose to fight for the South because of why? Money. Now listen very carefully.
Primary cause of the Civil War / Morrill Tariff of 1861. The South did not secede primarily because of. In Lincoln's first inaugural address he promised. He had no intention to change slavery in the South. He argued it would be unconstitutional for him to do so. But he promised he would invade any state that failed. Collect tariffs in order to enforce them. It was received.
He did, didn't he? That was the cause of the Civil War. Money. The South paid 80% of the taxes because cotton was lots of money in cotton at that time. They wanted money from that, the North did. And then all you have to do is just have some common sense to look at history. What happened to the North when Lincoln was in office? Industrial stuff was built. Look at the industry that come along in the North when he was President of the United States. What happened in the South paid for that. 80%. They paid 80% of the taxes, got 20% of the revenue. Now you're taking down a statue of a United States veteran. You just as well disgrace the American flag now, take it down, do the same thing to these shoulders today because that's what you're doing to him. Exactly what you're doing to him. You see, Anthony Johnson was the first slave owner. And you go on and read this. This is all, I've got most of all this even downloaded. Before they take it off a line, like they're blocking everything else, or you're already ripping pages out of the history books. Want to forget it because you think the Confederate flag is racist and believe this and that. No, what? Right there, Abraham Lincoln said, war was not. It was over taxes, not slavery. It was not slavery whatsoever. See, like I said, the first slave owner was black and he had white slaves. So why are you black people whining? You don't hear me whining. Maybe white, whatever. It doesn't matter what color I am. Doesn't matter if you are white. But why are blacks complaining about slavery when the first person in the United States granted slaves was black and he had white slaves? Not black, white. Now, from 1834, the Lincoln-Douglas debate in Ottawa, Illinois. Now listen to what he says very carefully.
Now, gentlemen, I don't want to read at any greater length, but this is the true complexion of all I have ever said in regard to the institution of slavery and the black race. This is the whole of it, and anything that argues me into his idea of perfect social and political equality with the Negro, is but a specious and fantastic arrangement of words, by which a man can prove a horse chestnut to be a chestnut horse. Laughter. I will say here, while upon this subject, that I have no purpose, directly or indirectly, to interfere with the institution of slavery in the states where it exists. I believe I have no lawful right to do so, and I have no inclination to do so. I have no purpose to introduce political and social equality between the white and the black races. There is a physical difference between the two, which, in my judgment, will probably forever forbid their living together upon the footing of perfect equality, and inasmuch as it becomes a necessity that there must be a difference, I, as well as Judge Douglas, am in favor of the race to which I belong having the superior position.
Hear that? Race that Lincoln belonged to, which is white, of having superior position. Wow. Don't you think that's a little racist? People are taking down the wrong statues. You know that, don't you? Don't you know that? The wrong color is taking down the wrong statues. You don't believe me? Look it up before they take this offline like they're trying to silence everything else. Keep your mouth shut. Get along with your neighbor. If you don't like living here, leave. Just go. Stop the fighting. It's us against the government. It's always been us against the government. They're getting more power, and more power. And we have a man in office trying to change it. And look what's happening. This violence needs to stop. In Virginia, where the lady got killed, I think Hillary Clinton needs to be charged with murder. She's the one that called for people to resist. That murder, that blood of that woman's hand is on Hillary Clinton. Now wake up and get